All right, Bobby Carpenter, former Buckeye, gets on ESPN's Get Up today, and he's talking about Baker Mayfield. I think, D-Man, everybody seems to be coming around almost to the same ending here. Most people now blaming things on Freddie Kitchens, which we did earlier, and now it's going national. According to Carpenter, if they end up moving on from Kevin Stefanski, which I don't see, because they haven't had success, then a lot is going to fall at the feet of Baker Mayfield. He's been given everything he needs to be successful, so this is his opportunity to become the franchise quarterback in Cleveland. If not, he'll be going down the road like Alex Smith, who's a great quarterback and played pretty well in his career, but you just don't get the chance to ever settle in and become that guy to the franchise. If Baker doesn't go on and become the franchise quarterback, I don't see anybody else picking him up to do the same. Do you?
Not necessarily. That's a slippery slope, Les, when you miss out on an opportunity to be the quote-unquote franchise QB. It's very hard to reclaim that status somewhere else. I have a ton of respect for Bobby Carpenter. Loved him as a player. Certainly don't want to get on his bad side, but what he's stating there is the obvious. It's pretty clear that this is a show-me year for Baker Mayfield.
Right. All right, so what's a franchise quarterback worth? 1 year? Take a look at some of these numbers. It's incredible. This is average from overthecap.com. You can check it out. Russell Wilson, $35 million. That's for 1 year. Roethlisberger, $34. When you get up to these numbers, what's a $500,000 here, a $500,000 there? Aaron-Rodgers, $33.5. Jared-Goff, $33.5. And Kirk-Cousins at $33. And Cousins, a guy close to being out of the league not too long ago. Now, there's a difference. I think these guys have all been signed to their fifth-year options and in their careers. And what is that worth? Well, the value of a fifth-year option is dependent on where the player was selected in the first round. Carson-Wentz fifth-year option was picked up for $22.78 million. D-Man, I almost said picked up for just $22.87. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative when you're talking about player to player or player to owner, certainly player to general populace. We have to remember that. But, I mean, yeah, the Bake Show got off to such a great start in 18, and then things just didn't happen for him in 19. I wouldn't say he was an abject failure, but he clearly did not play to the standard of number one overall. So now you've got a lot of different things that have occurred to help him over the course of the offseason. Therefore, you expect to see a better version of Mayfield. And I don't even want to say the 2018 version, as good as it was. I expect the number one overall pick in his third year to be considerably better than what Mayfield showed in 2018, even though it was really good.
Yeah, I said this a couple of weeks ago that Baker Mayfield, if he's going to have a bad year, it's better that it lines up as a good year in number one, bad year in number two, and good year in number three, as opposed to 1 and 2 being good, then 3, who knows what you're going to get. I think this might be the jolt that he needs to have a year. I really expect him to have a good one.
I totally agree. I mean, if nothing else, he can sleep better entering the season, or he can sleep better in the offseason knowing that his tackle problem has been solved in the forms of Conklin and Wills. So if nothing else happened in the offseason, that would be a bonanza for Baker Mayfield.